Perfect clickbait. This is my reaction to Lychee 5D in my old house. It's always fun to go back and talk about how nasty certain things are in games, especially because if you don't know somebody who's like, hey, you know, this character was broken in this game and here's why, like, here's what they did that was so nasty. That's like actually kind of hard to find for a lot of games. And people have started to do series like this. Dogra is doing one in Japanese. There's the MK videos that Ketchum and Mustard have been doing about this. LK series is like this. For Capcom stuff, mostly Street Fighter, to be honest. Befail has done stuff like this, but any series going over this, people love it. I really struggled. I almost made it 5 moves from NRS game. I could do a version of this that was only Killer Instinct. And you guys, if you haven't already, you should go subscribe to LK, click the button, click the bell, etc. Do all this kind of stuff.
There's a lot of characters, to be honest, to talk about in this game, and it was really hard to choose a specific move for Injustice 1. For example, I think Scorpion's teleport.
Yeah, Scorpion's teleport's broken.
Like the best move in NRS game history,
wow,
like ever. If you know Mortal Kombat, you know Scorpion's teleport appears behind you. But like imagine if that move is a mid, so you cannot duck under it or anything, which is important in these games, and it tracks you and the game doesn't have a block button.
His teleport when he came out was like instant, and it was so plus that he could like go overhead low. Like he got a mix up off of it, strike throw, overhead low. He also had like an instant jumping normal that like would instant overhead you. And then he could teleport off of it, so he could do an instant overhead into a cross-up. The meter burn version was like plus 20 on block, and it launched. What you could do is like you teleport, and then you jump and then teleport again. So like they see you jump and they stand block, and then you immediately cross them up. It was really, 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 really bad.
I actually cannot think of a move to me that defines Injustice 1 more than Superman forward 2. You have to keep in mind, this is the nerfed version.
How did this game come out with an advancing 7-frame mid plus 1 on block breath after, and it went farther? When the fastest jab in the game is 6 frames.
Let's say you're a hero, right? Like this game, you get out the perfect reversal jab.
Yeah, this game doesn't have buffer either.
+1,
I don't think.
And he does forward 2 again, and they trade. Both characters like collide like that, and then Superman hits forward 2 again, and it trade combos.
He's so plus on the stagger that he can do like standing 3, I think, and then fucking murder you for like 80%. But I don't think people knew it at the time. And if you're Ares in the beginning of the game, Ares got block infinited by Superman. Ares had a down 1 that was not fast enough to challenge. So then he would backdash, but the forward 2 would not hit him, and then the 3 would catch the backdash and like force you to block. So he actually just could not get away from Superman at round start. He just lost the game immediately. And then from full screen, he still lost. So like it wasn't like he had a good range to just like be like, all right, it's time. Like that shit sucked no matter what.
Then you think when this move hits you, he would do like 70 to 80%.
Oh my
and many
God,
stages
melted.
have these interactables where he could end his combo and then OTG you by throwing an interactable for unscaled damage after. So that was 18% unscaled damage. His combo would do 60 or 70% into a 20% OTG, and he would one-touch you in the corner off of a 7-frame advancing mid that's plus on block.
And Superman just like had a trait that broke armor. It's like a Roman cancel basically, in the sense that like he could do his moves and then cancel in a trait and just get plus off of stuff. And he could trait from full screen to make his zoning better and like do more damage, and it made his zoning break armor. He really was nasty when he came out. Yeah, he has dive bomb in this game. Yeah, I didn't talk about dive bomb. He can make it go cross up or same side. And if it hits you, it's an unscaled launcher. You can't wake up attack through it. You have to guess left, right? Is there any other game that has something like that? I actually can't think of anything. He could also just use it for like double overheads and stuff, because it's like his air down 3, so he could just do a jump attack and then do a dive bomb after him. I actually have a great clip of Injustice 2. They nerfed it a lot in Injustice 2. Injustice ranked day 1, Sajam versus Ares. This is Injustice 2. Guess what normal I'm gonna hit to get in on this zoning character? You'll never guess. Dashing forward 2, reset into the low, unbreakable, dive bomb OTG, dive bomb OTG, dive bomb OTG, dive bomb OTG, dive bomb. And you can see he finally blocks a cross up, but then I recover so fast and I recover airborne. So it's kind of hard to punish. In this game, it's nerfed and it scales. In Injustice 1, if one of those dive bombs hit you, I was gonna do 70%. That was the version of the move that was fine. Superman in that version was not even, I don't even think he was close to the best character in that game. I mean, I was actually fighting what people thought was the best character in the game in that clip.
KDZ won the very first Injustice at EVO with Superman, and people talked about how powerful he was. This is a nerfed version of him, and he said it was a skill issue.
This is game of all time. It's about Arakune. Don't talk with Arakune players. Don't look at Arakune players. Remember that. This is an aerial move, as you can see, and you can actually control it. So you can make it appear like a little bit closer to him, a little bit farther away. So he's in the air, so I block high. It's an aerial low. Instantly curses you, instantly puts him in his win condition, which means I can become a little baby and just mash. There you go, now I can just mash. Look, I'm the best character. He's not the best, but he's like top 2.
Attacks that are like this are fucked up. You know, Tremor had this same shit in MKX. He had like an air fireball that he shot down like that. That was a low. One of the most annoying things to deal with in the game. It didn't curse you, but it was cursed. It was like +4 on block. And if it hits you, he launched you for a full combo into a hard knockdown. And he could just react to your fireballs with it too. Like, he was absurd. I didn't play Tanya when she came out, but Tremor was like, actually, he might have been the best character I played in an MK game. I also played Alien, I guess. Alien is also really ridiculous. But I played Alien the day the character came out. And then I said, like, I'm not going to play this character because this character will get nerfed.
I actually don't think I've played a fair character in this game. I've only played characters who are despicable in this game. Season 2 launched Maya. This character, she is something else. And she has since been nerfed quite a lot of times.
Okay, would have loved this character.
I think it's the most powerful fighting game character I've ever played. Like, I could have talked about Mantis. Mantis is... This is an aerial overhead unblockable that used to do like 20%, and they have to duck that. And you may say like, all right, well, like certainly she doesn't have any good jump moves. And you see her jumping heavy punch is one of the most ambiguous jump-ins I've ever used in my life. But what I had to decide on is Maya's dagger toss. When people talk about Milliapin being the most absurd move in a fighting game ever, they're actually talking about this character's dagger toss. She can do it in the air. Cool. And she has two daggers. When it launched in Season 2, when your opponent blocks this attack, if you look at the bottom left, you get charges. That's 1 purple for my medium dagger, and then you get 2, and then the same thing with the light dagger, there's 4 charges. When it's all the way maxed out, the projectile from this is unblockable, homing, combo starter, that now launches for a combo. It used to keep them grounded, and it was plus on block. She would just do this, and then throw another dagger, and then just do this, and then do this. Unblockable, kill you. And you can see this range is miserable too. But let's say I like jumped and threw the move, right? And my opponent, like he did his anti-projectile shadow move. Okay. The projectile would get thrown, and it would stay on his body, and then it would hit him after and break his combo.
It's just like on your character's hurt box spinning. It doesn't matter what you did to try to get out of it. You're like, my bad. I guess it's going to hit me anyway.
When you do a DP with this character, you used to be able to throw her daggers after to make the recovery safer. And which dagger you threw would change how you have to try to punish it.
Yeah, and which DP you did too.
You would get like 5%, 6% punishes. Then I'd wake up and do it again.
The light DP, the trajectory is like this. Medium DP hit like this. And then heavy DP went like this. So each one, she could throw the dagger after, and it would just go diagonal from like whatever version she did. For some characters, you needed to know a punish for each of the like angles, you know? She did like the light one that goes straight up. My punish is, and then you have to remember which DP it is and like which punish it is, and then you mess it up, and like then she kills you. It did so much.
So I would get an unbreakable combo starter where I would throw the dagger and then juggle into Mantis and do 30%. That's not even the reason why this move is broken. The reason it's broken is that the way this game works is that combos are naturally breakable. But when Maya launched, whenever I hit you with full like magic in the bottom left with the daggers, I could do a 1-chance combo, like 1 hit like that, and do an ender that is no longer in the game. They removed it because they learned their lesson. And it would do 80% damage off of every hit, even if the combo starter is crouching light kick, 80% every time.
Look at this Maya anti-air beating this jump, by the way. This is an extremely consistent anti-air that just lost to this jumping heavy.
Oh, wow. He missed that.
Oh, I think he's dead.
Big damage here.
Yes, he is. Look at that.
And he's going to use it.
Shaved it away.
Oh my god.
70%, baby.
The worst part too about this character, when these daggers hit, she was plus enough to combo a light, a medium, or a heavy move as a linker or as a manual, and you could delay it. You didn't have to be early. You could do any timing. So breaking her, if you had a 1-chance here, was so hard. And like the thing is, she gets Oki after too, but he just backs up because he's respecting this. She can do this like twice, 3 times a game pretty easily. After this knockdown here, he could have thrown the purple dagger twice and then gotten an unblockable and then thrown the unblockable and then killed him off the unblockable. And her ground game is so good for a character that has like extremely powerful approach options. Her grounded normals are extremely good, and she could just throw dagger after all of them, and it's plus on block. Oh, you thought I was going to talk about the character that won Evo the first year, Sadira? She was really, really powerful, but like it's only for one reason in that version. She's a character about jumping. She could do her spin and jump cancel the spin and combo spin into spin into spin into spin into spin. And in that version of the game, as long as you continue to do a combo, what's like a combo opener, the game would just not count it. And you could just do that over and over. And then at the end, you could make one part of the combo breakable. So she would just like hit you once with instinct, pop you for 70%, and then try to kill you. But even then, she wasn't this bad. The idea of the game is that if your combo doesn't have a lot of interaction with your opponent, it should not give you very much damage. If you want your combo to do a lot of damage, your opponent has to have lots of chances to break it generally. In hindsight in this game, I actually kind of wish Enders scaled their power based on level 2. So people actually wanted to do longer combos. For a character like Fulgore, for instance, he gets a hard knockdown on his shortest combo and he could just loop it over and over and over, and it like promoted him doing less damage on a combo. But maybe it's fun that the opportunity is just to do stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, I love this choice. This is one of my favorite kinds of especially powerful moves.
When you're talking about Superman, it really resonated with me when you were like, yeah, this move is game defining, because the move I'm about to do is also game defining, and this is also a nerfed version of the move. It's that. This is the nerfed version.
Oh my
the
god,
original,
it still goes
but
so far
it has
though.
hints of the original. Usually jabs are like 6 frames in this game. So hers was 7.
She
the
needs
issue
it.
is with how the game system actually works. So Guilty Gear, you have like upper body invul, you have like foot invul. The issue is in vanilla Persona, they went the Blaze Blue route. Every attack is assigned like a body part. So for example, almost all jump-ins are considered head moves. So if you use a move that's head invincible, like this, you will always beat the jump-in. And there's not really any body invincible moves, which means there's no ground versus ground way to deal with this. And this is like, disjoint is huge.
I thought it was just a big disjointed, strong, fast poke. I didn't realize that it also didn't have like a type of interaction you could use to counter poke it. That is absurd to me. Like in a Street Fighter game, you balance the pokes by recovery or reward or stuff like that. But in games like this, usually there's some kind of way that the system interacts with how the moves are classified. So like I had no idea this was like this.
And it got to the point where like there are some matchups in vanilla Persona where this beats everything and there's nothing you can do. Remember, you get a meter bonus if you hit somebody first. So I get that first. If I hit you, I have the meter advantage right away, and I'm going to be right in your face. And if you block, well, you're blocking, so cool, which is what I like. If you jump, in this game, you can't block in the air for like 5 frames.
Yeah, I would
so
play this
it's
character
just
too.
Such a dominating move, to the point that they added an extra body property called chest in Ultimax, and they made it so a lot of moves have chest invincibility. Like all sweeps have chest invincibility. I personally, with this character, have broken my A button multiple times from pressing it so much. So this move, despite how unassuming it looks too.
You have to remember that LK and I are both Catalina players in Grand Blue 1.0. So I see this move and I'm like, this move is correct. I learned my lesson because I did not play Superman in Injustice 1. I had this experience playing that game where I played Nightwing, who is an okay character. But like so many of the other characters in the game were just absurd. But then everybody's like, nah, bro, Nightwing has so much potential. He's actually so good the whole time. Then Martian Manhunter came out, who I was interested in. He was DLC. He happened to be the best character in the game, and I played him for like 10 minutes. And anybody who like I was slightly worried about losing to before, I suddenly was just like, I'm the most powerful being in the universe. And then I understood immediately. It's like saying like Anji and Happy Chaos or something in the last patch. I don't know, man. Anji's got a lot of potential. Like maybe he's about as good as like the Hunda. Like, no, bro. We know Anji can play. Like he's a playable character, but like no one's gonna argue that he's as good as Happy Chaos. Like, come on, bro. Potential is the most dangerous word. If someone says potential, don't listen to that word. That just means they want to beat you for life.
Now, the move I'm talking about, you'd never guess it got nerfed. It's in a game that I don't even have on Steam anymore. In Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I was ready.
He powers up, he goes power of the power of the power, and then afterwards,
am I not wrong though? In Marvel 3, I try to think of a move that was a better example. I think this move is. With how the tag system in this game worked, and the fact that like even if you hit Dormammu, the thorns stayed. Unless you push blocked and like perfect jumped, you were also stuck. I think it was the easiest to use too. Anytime you get a hit or you have 5 seconds in neutral, you can do this. And the thing is like when he powers up, he can power up in the air, and then if he activates in the air, he teleports to the ground and does the move. I didn't know how to play Dormammu at all, and I was like, yeah, I gotta play Dormammu in this game, I think.
This move covers the entire part of the ground. And when he does this move, by the way, he says grounded. And you can guess with a move like this.
Like, look at trying to air and then
Unless
just
you-
falling right back into the move.
It hits in front of your character, it hits behind your character, it breaks combos.
You can
It's
power it up and do
super
another one in the
hard
same
to get out of
combo.
because it just stays on the ground and it's hitting literally.
This move naturally countered tag. So you
with
can't
this
tag your
huge
character
advantage.
out, or like they tag into
Pulls you
this,
in.
right?
Characters with flight, which Dormammu is one, by the way, will fly and then do overhead and low options on
Like
you.
he
while
gets the
attacking,
move and then he gets
he'll
to
do,
like power
air
up and do it
dash
again if he
cross
wants.
up
I guess he's
and
just,
tag
he's
another
happy
character, and
birthday,
then
so he's
that
just
character will
comboing
do
both.
50-50.
But this is what this
So,
move
like, right
did.
here-
This move is so messed up. We can just go on to the next move, which is perfect, by the way.
This is such an LK move. This is such like a move in my lane. It's like a projectile, you know, it has a lot of startup. A BlazBlue player would be like, this is a lesser die shutting, great wheel, but this does not cost any meter, where die shutting is a super.
Yeah, this is Secret Garden.
It's really strong in a bunch of ways. So for starters is the unique mechanic Blitz. So you have this, and generally when you use it, she's out of range. Not having to worry about Blitz when you're doing a projectile mix-up in Exerd, very good. You can set your mix-up up in a way where you get 2 unreactable mix-ups, depending on whether or not you see her in the air and stand up, which again, fighting in conventions, that's what you want to do. So you can get mixed here.
You know,
Because I
controllable
saw her-
Oki tools like this are so funny to me because it's so hard for them not to always just be busted. It's
She
like
has
impossible
a
for this
proximity
move to
option
like.
select where she gets
How is
an
this not gonna be
option
good?
of high-low mix. If you time your dead angle this way, then she's just gonna recover. But she can take advantage of proximity option select to like get away from some dead angles, or block it if you do it late. It has a ton of option coverage. You basically have to take it. It doesn't go away on hit or if you make her block, and you can loop it. It goes into itself over and over and over. So if you don't have a burst, you just have to kind of hold this. And then if you're taller and you start by standing up, you have to block it 5 times and not 4 times. One thing about them making her combos more consistent in Exerd, every patch the goal became, how do I do Secret Garden to you over and over?
Yeah, this character's a war crime.
She is. I'm not hearing it.
One of the best flail moves I can think of in a fighting game ever, and it's Rainbow Mika's clap.
I hate this move
Like,
so
I have to go back
much.
frame by frame. Just look at how fast this clap is and how fast it whips. It is this move is absurdly fast. In season 1, she created a wall in the middle of the screen that she could combo you off of, right? And even if she didn't want to do that, she could clap you backwards and do crouching heavy punch after, and then be plus on block. Get free command grab mix up every time because +2 is the magic number. But the thing that made it worse too is you see it in the corner here. He lands the clap, puts you in the corner, and then he gets to do huge.
Yeah, I think if you haven't seen clap much outside of this clip, it's maybe a little harder to understand it, but it's like an incredibly fast move that's safe on block. And clap has like first hit, second hit. The second hit was unsafe, but you could just OS and never get the unsafe hit unless it was already hitting. It was like really hard to deal with because she could just walk back and clap again, and then your poke misses and she claps you again. And on hit, if you got clapped, you got fucking owned. In the corner, you had the gas 50-50 straight up that could probably kill you in like 2 interactions. Like, this move is absurd. But she used to get V-reversal into dash, and she was +2, which means she could command grab. Dude, she's a joke. Everybody talks about Guile winning Capcom Cup because NuckleDo won with Guile, and like, it was Mika. I'm not trying to hear it. She won Capcom Cup, and Guile just got the glory. But yeah, this one is a little harder to understand maybe for some people, so I think we can just go.
One of the
Dude.
most flexible moves I've ever used in a fighting game ever that hard carried me for years, and it's this. This move
Lychee is sick, by the way.
It doesn't really look like I did anything. So she could do it crouching or standing. This is like 21 frames in almost every BlazBlue game.
For reference, think about how fast Happy Cows reloads at full screen. They're like similar speeds.
So if you put it down standing, it will go up and then behind, come back like a boomerang. And if you put it down, it will go down like a fireball, a traditional one, and then come back. Because you can do this, you have a super lazy neutral control tool because this is a negative edge move. It's not like you press it. Typically, people are like, oh, she sucks at anti-airing. But I could just do this and crouch safely, and as soon as I see you jump, I could just let go. That takes a lot of skill. What if you're like a zoner or something, or like a summoner or something? I could just put this on the screen and say, no, you don't get to do that.
That is so fucked up, by the way.
But then it's also a combo tool.
It seems like the easiest way to play neutral.
Okay, so use that in your combos, but you
lot of
also
people
use it
think
in
you're
your
good,
pressure as well. All you do is
honest.
you put it down.
You know what I
but then when
mean?
you don't have a stick and you press D again, you flick it.
I feel
for
like you would get
example,
props
let's say
for
the
playing
stick is
neutral like this, and
here
it looks
on you.
like so easy.
And let's say a pressure sequence would be like button into like something like this, right? Just simple. I decided to do a little throw with the stick there. So you have the thing on you, so you don't really want to interact with me there. But
All he
I
does
can
is hide
use it
behind the
to
stick.
set up mix-ups I wouldn't normally be able to do.
You got called
well.
trash
And then
on
top of
Evo
that,
Tave
still,
commentary. That's the
you-
classic anime game commentary, though, isn't it? Anime game commentary is so much. This motherfucker mashes. He's ass. He always mashes on defense. His defense trash. I told you guys I was watching the Uni tournament within the last like 8 months, and I heard someone on commentary like that, and it was like a fucking throwback. Where they were like, damn, you mashed again? This is why this guy's ass. Like, if it was me, I'd have blocked that shit. And I like looked it up in the commentator in the bracket. They got smoked. I was like, well.
And combos with this. BlazBlue has like a rolling system.
Yeah.
So everyone's
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
oh, there's no Oki. I can just roll out of the corner. I'll do this. Alright, so you can't roll out the corner. It is your Oki tool, pressure tool, and neutral tool all in one move. It is really, really fast. So if you're playing on a console where the game has like 3-frame delay, you could see that. You could snipe that. But in an arcade setting where it's like 5, 6, even 7-frame delay, depending where you're at, you can't see it. It's as fast as her overhead. So you don't know what's coming. If you get frame trapped, you're
Good old
dead.
arcade,
You're gonna
man.
get Oki'd. And if
What
you
a
respect
deal.
it, you have to block more
Sajam,
pressure,
Sajam,
which
vibe.
means this is gonna launch. I'm gonna be doing my thing. It comes back, and then it just happens again and again and again. They've nerfed this move so many times in so many different ways.
Anything that's like low commitment, so like a thing on the screen moving for you that you don't have to do anything as the main character, and you can't interact with it either. So just the other thing does all the work and is like completely safe. People have tried to design away from this kind of stuff. They don't make moves like that or like Zappa a sword.
If you
Thanks for
could bring
finding
one of these moves back to the next game in the franchise,
No.
which would you pick?
Fuck these moves. I don't want these moves back for good reason. I dealt with these moves, and now that I've been through this shit, I'm good. These moves can stay in the past.
But this one is.
I love this move.
probably
It has a special place in my
you're
heart.
Familiar with NRS games at all? I did Injustice 1. Injustice 2, this is grand finals of Evo. Honeybee versus Dragon. And everybody probably knows that Honeybee is a Flash player. But you may notice he's not playing that character. And that's because Aquaman is so stupid and the matchup is so bad. And rather than playing his main character, he mirrored Dragon and Evo grand final. Try to rush is a move that Aquaman can do. And by the way,
I had to talk about his trade a little bit too. It is really sad. Like Honeybee in losers finals, he was playing Theo, if I remember right, and he had like an absurd comeback. Everybody was so hyped. And then in grand finals, he plays Dragon and legit can't play the game. It was maybe the saddest Evo finals I've watched in my life.
his unique move is just, I'm not being comboed anymore.
He's slippery.
Yeah, he just legit falls out of combo. So unless he's already in the air being juggled, twice in a row right here, you can see both of them do it. He gets hit, he pops his trait, and then it stops him from getting comboed twice there, by the way, 2 times. And he misses his confirm, so he pops his trait, and then you notice he's blocking again. That's not even why it's not even try to rush. It's just something the character can do. This is try to rush. If you look at the life bar, and you're gonna see try to rush again right after this, don't worry, because not only can you do it like that, also a wake up attack.
Why does he do so much
30%.
damage on
You
hit
do
is
it
my
on
question too.
hit.
Try to rush is mindlessly powerful on hit or block. You didn't have to even pay attention to the screen. Yeah,
The whole
they
round is
like.
2 characters activating trait and falling out.
I love that he
gets
traded and then
chipped
he still
out,
got
even though
chipped.
he's able to escape the combo, and all he does is try to rush over and over and over.
That's what this character did.
You either take the chip or you let him spend the bar and then you push block to try to even the meter amount that the 2 characters spend. But it's on a character with like some of the best zoning in the game, some of the best mid-range buttons in the game, and he literally just does the move over and over. It's like his neutral move. He does it to chip you.
Dude, look at how much damage it does. This
Yeah.
is just crouching jab in a trident rush. It does 20% of your life. In the bottom left here, look at how much meter he
Again,
builds before he
it's
spends
plus
trident
after.
rush.
He just spends
He
his bar
built
to
the
do
almost
move
the
and
full
chip you
bar
over and
before he
over.
even spent it anyway.
The game is 2 characters sitting there. And what
Can't
is
do
he gonna
anything.
do?
He's chip.
Oh my god.
This move is so gross, man. You didn't have to like look at the screen really. You just did whatever you wanted to do into Trident Rush over and over, and you just fell out combos. Because of how his trait works and how his zoning is and stuff, if your character tried to play the game in a way that was you didn't have an immediate combo launcher, you probably got fucking owned by Aquaman. He had some really positive matchups. Would zoners do well against him? No, because he has From the Deep. From the Deep is like the best anti-zoning move in the game. It's a tracking projectile that comes out of the ground, and not many characters can punish it. You have to have like an air projectile, and you have to have good launchers to beat him. Let's watch LK's last choice. I don't think a lot of people realize how ridiculous this was.
Today, we were talking about this.
Oh, the
classic. Launch Vegeta assist. So
Yeah, before there was A and B and C
it's
assists.
a lot of hits. It's really good at covering space. It was more hits, also. Rather than like calling it in a vacuum, you would see something like this where people would do this.
Yeah, you can't hit him. He's too far.
So he
and
appears in a
it's really hard to
spot
go
where
through this
you
assist
basically
in the
can't
launch
interact
version.
with him. It was not a key blast, so you could not use any anti-key options, including the main one that people would think of, which is Super Dash. So now you can Super Dash through it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a great idea. And because of this, he was one of the early, just like super easy, like this was neutral, this was mix up, this was combo extension, all on one very solo functioning character.
In Dragon Ball now, and like even after.
Dude, look at these teams, by the way. This is just what a lot of it was like. Yeah, there's gonna be a spark here. He's dead. But like the fucked up thing about Vegeta assist too is like it just you couldn't get out. It just did everything. Like it was so hard to deal with. You could stagger it. It saved you on defense, saved you on offense. Like it just did everything for
play
you.
like in the very beginning of the game, or anybody.
Enrich,
like,
the TOD god. He's getting TOD.
In every top 8 because solo he was good.
Also, Vegeta is good on point too.
If we knew more about the game, I feel like this would have became a thing. But we didn't know. I have a sharp memory actually of when this game came out, and we were like, oh, what's gonna go down in Winter Brawl? The week before Winter Brawl, which was the first big US major, they had a major in Japan where every single team had Cell SSJ Vegeta. Honestly, he had a good run. He had like a 1.5 year run.
You know, somebody asked in the YouTube comments, I thought this was an interesting question. If this assist is so good, why was Ami Cold Star not good? Because it's a similar assist, right? Ami Cold Star, it was a really strong assist, but the character wasn't as strong as Vegeta was, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't cover as much of the screen. And third of all, in that game, there's way more assists that hit the entire screen, or like think about how good Strider Vajra is, or Rapid Slash, or Jam Session. Vegeta, I think actually his biggest strength, he could actually sit on a lead extremely well. So like, let's say you kill the first character or something, and then it's Vegeta sitting on Cell Bardock, or Vegeta sitting on like whatever his backup assist is. His combo extensions are really solid. He had good Key Blast. He had an uppercut, which is like really strong. Rocket Kick, which is an absurd move. Like Rocket Kick into any assist, it's like, can't really go wrong. He could just hold the screen really well. He was good at playing neutral too. Remember that at the time Vegeta was strong, hitting super dashes out of the air was not good. They didn't make it airing super dash easy, and he had an air DP. At the time, that was extremely valuable utility that other characters didn't have. The mix-up doesn't matter as much if you have a lead and you can control the screen. And think about how many times like a person like Fenrich or Goichi is just sitting on Vegeta on point against 1 or 2 characters left on the other team, with their whole team left, and their Vegeta just wins because he has better neutral, and when he's a full assist up, it's a huge advantage in Dragon Ball. There wasn't really a lot he was bad at, to be honest with you. 1 barb for Trunks. I'm not hearing it from you Trunks players. You play Trunks because you think he's cool. If he sucks, you should have switched. His hair and sword is not cool enough to play that character for like 5 years. That's it. I'm not trying to hear it anymore. He's got to change the future. Yeah, you just change the future then, bro. I don't care. Yeah, every year people are like, Trunks got better, and like he did, and then people still drop him. And we watched the hype Honeybee loses finals match as a palate cleanser. It actually is. It's like, oh my god, he did it. It's a fuck Flash in that game, by the way.
For the trophy.
If you don't know, Superman, you know, he does all the things he normally does as Superman. And Flash is a 50-50 character. He does mix-ups. He gets in and does overhead low. Look at that. Look at the damage that trade did.
Heats that with that trait active. And the Sonic Pound and Footsies again. Honeybee's going to get some mileage out of it. Slams him into the side,
for the better
chases him down
knockdown.
to the corner. He does not.
You see this slow-mo here? In this slow-mo, Flash is like,
Comes in. No, but not into
what's
the
it
rest.
called? Flash is like really, really dangerous because he essentially like, anytime he hits you, it's like BRC in Shirai. That's how I compare it. He's like in slow-mo. So he gets to do these super tight juggles. What an anti-air. Okay, this anti-air looks mega impressive, right? You're like, holy shit, how did he... This move is broken. 7, 8, 9 frames or something. It was like -1 on block or some shit, or plus maybe. I don't remember. It might have been plus. This move is broken. It was so good that they would mash it in defense. Flash was not that good in this version of the game, to be fair. But this move is stupid.
Get that extra safety. Down 2.
It is a good anti-air though. Like, he was ready. I'll give him credit. Look at this is the slow-mo combos. Look at the damage he does when he hits you.
Should be enough to kill.
That combo is not over.
And Honeybee
50%.
first.
Easy peasy.
1,050 health points away.
He's in there immediately.
Yeah,
too.
you gotta
And
break.
again, a very, very early clash. Very early. Didn't even wait to see if there was a reset into something he could block. He just wanted to get away.
This may come back to haunt Theo. He's gonna believe in his defense. Has to meet a burn that to stay safe at that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, baited that shit. Oh
That's the
my
life
god,
bar.
you were gonna
So
explode.
Theo's decision ends up being okay. It's very close now, very even, although he's down in meter.
Yeah, he has no.
Good old power
bar
character
for
interactable.
one
There
now.
it is. He builds it quickly, no big deal.
He has no clash, and Honeybee sitting on multiple meters.
Ooh.
Any touch.
You gotta be careful about doing the laser really high, because then it's
Massive
like pretty
danger.
unsafe.
Walks back, taking their time, patience, ducks,
Overhead ends up.
So Superman punch in this game is like
walks back,
slightly
taking their
unsafe,
time, patience.
but the follow-up is an overhead with armor that's safe and has like lots of pushback.
Ducks.
Boom, boom. That's overhead and armored. So like you try to punish the move,
Overhead
and it's like,
ends up-
oh my
okay.
bad.
All right, and Theo has no meter. Back to
boy.
it. Trying to do it the old-fashioned way.
Honeybee is a big threat at this moment. If he finds something, he's got all the meter. He's
There
got the
it is.
resource. There it is. He
And-
can get big stuff. What's the reset going
This
to be
is not
like?
gonna do
What's
that
the
much damage.
meaty situation. Got him.
50-50?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
an escape.
He has an
And Theo
overhead and a
burns his
low
last bar
that
meter
launch.
Again, no more lasers to be safe.
Oh,
no
that
meter.
was
Here
sick.
comes Honeybee.
He punished the landing
He drops
frames,
it.
dropped
Air
the
dash
combo.
out. Oh boy,
Punish.
this can be a lot of damage.
Oh my God, big
Will
time
he go
trouble.
finally in there for the reset?
Oh, he
no!
missed it.
And the throw coming down to it. Honeybee's going to build enough meter for a super.
Honeybee isn't. Oh, okay, here it is.
He wakes up. He brisks it out. Doesn't care. He does have access to a clash. However, Theo won't be looking
Hold
for
on
it.
now, Honeybee.
Can he kill with this combo?
He might be able to. Let's see what he gets. The reset.
He commits to it. No guess. The overhead into the super, and Honeybee with all the energy of the thousands of attendants and the hopeful millions watching around the world. The Flash God Lord is going to.
Yeah, and then he died. Right after that, he fought Aquaman for 3 straight games. 11 minutes and 50 seconds later.
This mountain is gigantic. He's about to climb Everest if he's going to do
This
it.
matchup is
Dragon
miserable. Yeah,
security
it's
at the
legit
door,
like a
ready to
7-3.
slam
This
it
matchup
on
is
Honeybee.
incredibly bad
Dashes
for Flash.
Evil Dreams with
Like, he
the
gets his
swing of a
fucking
trident.
ass beat in
Dragon
this
called
matchup.
it. He called it,
And
and he gets it. Dragon takes Evo 2017.
No,
And
but
you got the young
everybody
man
in the
from
crowd
Delaware
goes mild.
Finally does it. At the end of the MKX lifetime, he slays the demon in Sonic
And
5.
that's it. It just dies. But it was a really hype losers finals. Dragon needed that W because you know how many second places Dragon took to Sonic Fox? Like, I was happy. I was like, good shit. I would be like, pick Aquaman again. Somebody compared Superman's forward 2 to like DBFZ. Like, we deal with that in DBFZ all the time. And I was like, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you held the joystick forward or backwards in Injustice, but it doesn't exactly have the same amount of movement. Injustice doesn't have a frame 1 parry that pushes your opponent half screen. Like, if you want to get out against that character, you got to fight for your life. You have no assists, you got nothing. Like, this dude just sits there and he fucking punches you. Like, it is so messed up in the context of this game.